You can't pass, and you can't break us.
They think they're a wall. I see them as the perfect instruments for a symphony of deflections.
A private tally of 1,000 deflections flared behind his eyes, the wound that birthed his vision.
Every shin, every goalpost. They're just new angles waiting to be carved.
The crowd didn't understand the golden geometries erupting in Ren's gaze, but the silence became a held breath.
That gaze. You think geometry will save you when 1,000 deflections have taught you nothing.
I don't think. I see. And I've seen 1,000 ways to break you.
The referee's whistle sliced through the stunned silence, signaling the final clash of the elimination tournament.
Time to turn their rigid defense into the perfect instruments for my Ricochet.
The final match began, not with a kickoff, but with a symphony of deflections that only his burned vision could orchestrate. But before this final, there was a 1,000-fold wound. Every pass he ever made, devoured by a defender's leg.
Another one. That's 999. If I can't pass, I am just a ghost in cleats.
He counted every deflection, a private tally of shame carved into his soul.
999 failures. What happens after 1,000? Does something finally break?
Then the 1,000th ricochet hit. A searing migraine erupted behind his eyes.
My skull is splitting, but I can see lines that shouldn't exist.
A luminous web shot from his foot through every surface, shins, elbows, goalposts, each a mirror preaching a new angle.
This isn't a gift. It's a weapon, forged from 1,000 cuts.
His ricochet vision had awakened. No miracle, just a science only his scorched optic nerves could read.
Now, let's see if those 1,000 failures were worth it. Kozuki, you are about to become my canvas.
Before he could challenge Kozuki, he had to prove the vision was real. A low strike, straight at 3 defenders, his first test.
There, the golden path. Knee, crossbar, net. It's a symphony only I can hear.
The ball cracked off a knee, caromed off the crossbar's underside, and kissed the net with a geometry no human could plan.
I did it. But why does my head burn like I've stared into the sun?
A searing pulse behind his eyes, a price for seeing the unseeable. Still, he entered the elimination tournament.
The bracket is just another web. Every opponent, another surface to bounce off.
Match after match, he carved angles that left crowds gasping. His vision became legend, but every goal cost a sliver of himself.
Each ricochet sends a needle through my optic nerve. How many more before I go blind?
The tournament board filled with crossed-out names. Ren's team advanced, but a shadow grew behind his eyes.
I'll reach the final. But if my vision breaks before then, I'll just be a ghost again.
In the next match, a cunning opponent tried to smother his angles, but Ren's golden webs adjusted mid-flight.
They're learning. The windows are getting narrower. My head screams with every deflection.
Still, he found the ricochet. The ball danced off a defender's thigh, then the post, nesting in the far corner.
Another goal. But I am burning through my nerves like kindling.
When the final whistle blew, Ren didn't celebrate. He stumbled toward the tunnel, vision fracturing into red and gold static. In the locker room, he collapsed. His teammates' shouts faded into a ringing silence.
I can't. Not now. Not before the final.
The team doctor shook his head, but it was the coach who spoke next. The coach's words hit like a hammer. You might never see again if you keep this up.
Then I'll go blind. But I won't stop until that net ripples one last time.
The semi-final pitch felt like a furnace. Every eye in the stadium tracked Ren, waiting for the next impossible angle.
Their defense is tighter. I can barely find a seam in the web.
The opponent had studied him. They clogged the lanes, forced him wide, dared him to shoot blind.
A spike of pain. The golden lines are turning red, breaking apart.
With seconds left and the path vanishing, he swung his foot in a wild arc, hoping the old geometry would hold. The ball ricocheted off a defender's shin, then the keeper's glove, and trickled across the line. The net rippled, but Ren's vision didn't. He won the semifinal, but collapsed at the final whistle, his sight a storm of static and fire. Then the stadium screen flashed the final opponent, the Iron Wall. 900 minutes without conceding a goal.
Kozuki, your team is a fortress of flesh. I'll carve my symphony through you.
The final was set, but Ren could barely see the bracket. His greatest weapon was already turning against him.
How do I break a wall that's never cracked? Every angle I see ends in a blocked shot.
On the rooftop, he pushed his vision until his skull screamed, chasing angles that led nowhere.
I can push through the pain. Just one more ricochet. One more path.
Then a hot gush from his nose. The golden lines snapped into black threads. For an hour he saw nothing.
Even my vision is abandoning me. What good is a weapon that blinds its wielder?
The Iron Wall's 900-minute clean sheet played on a loop. Their formation was a geometric nightmare. No seams, no gaps.
Kozuki has analyzed every ricochet I've ever made. He's already built a counter for my whole arsenal.
Ren, you are killing yourself. The team needs you, not a martyr.
I can't stop, Taro. This is all I have.
The final day broke gray and cold. Ren walked onto the pitch with static dancing at the edges of his sight. Ren's golden web predicted the ricochet, but Kozuki shifted. The ball clipped his knee and sailed wide.
Did you think we wouldn't study your light show? Every deflection you've made, I've seen. Your geometry ends here.
He knew the angle. No one reads the web but me.
Again, he wound up. Again, the golden lines traced a path, and again Kozuki's wall swallowed the ball.
You are a ghost in cleats, Ren. 1,000 failures taught you nothing. We are the wall.
The web is still here, but every angle leads to a closed door. What am I missing?
The whistle blew for halftime. Ren slumped, vision a mess of broken lines. The score, 0-0, but it felt like a loss.
I can't find a single opening. They've turned my own weapon against me.
Kozuki's smirk as he passed was a dagger. The Ricochet legend was unraveling.
One half left to find a flaw. Or everything. The deflections, the awakening, the pain, was for nothing.
In the stale silence of the locker room, Ren pressed his knuckles against his eyelids, willing the golden webs to show him a flaw.
They're not a wall, they're a machine. Every movement is a piston in a rigid frame.
His vision bled static, but beneath the pain, a new geometry emerged, the defenders as a single organism, their limbs fixed joints.
They aren't obstacles. They are mirrors I can angle. Every shin guard is a trampoline.
The Iron Wall's discipline was its undoing. Their perfect synchronization made their deflections predictable.
There, a seam through Kozuki's hip, off the left back's knee, then the crossbar. It's a symphony of their own making.
The path was impossibly complex, but each ricochet was a calculated note. The wall would score on itself.
My eyes are burning out, but for one shot, I can hold the pattern. This is my last ricochet.
The second half whistle blew. Ren walked onto the pitch with fractured vision, but a perfect, terrifying clarity.
Kozuki built a wall. I am bringing the wrecking ball.
Ren saw the golden seam and drove the ball not at the goal, but at Kozuki's left back's shin.
Bounce one off the hip, then the crossbar. The net will ripple.
The ball struck like a cue shot, caroming off the defender's leg at a savage angle. Kozuki threw himself sideways, fingertips grazing the ball, deflecting it by a hair onto the post. It kissed the post and spun out. The stadium howled, but the score remained a ghost.
A spike of static. The lines are breaking. Not yet. Not yet.
For a heartbeat, his sight dissolved into red static, and the golden path vanished.
I can still see. One more chance. I have to hold on.
The clock bled into stoppage time. The iron wall remained unbroken.
I'll carve that path again. This time, nothing will stop it.
Sensing Ren's faltering vision, the iron wall surged forward. Their counterattack was a tidal wave of precision.
Push. Their ghost is fading. One strike, and his legend dies.
A through ball sliced Ren's defense. Their striker bore down on goal. the net gaping.
If I track back, we might only delay the end. The golden web is almost ash. But there, a final seam. Not to defend, to attack. One last ricochet path. If I chase the shadow, the wall wins. If I carve light, I might never see again.
He abandoned his own box, lunging to intercept the pass with a desperate toe poke.
Now, the wall is still pushed forward. I can weave through them.
The stadium erupted as Ren, eyes bleeding gold, began a solo charge toward the iron wall. One final ricochet. One angle carved from blindness. His vision was a dying ember, and he would burn it all.
3 deflections. Kazuki's hip, the left back's knee, the crossbar. A perfect ricochet symphony.
He struck the ball with the last of his strength, a low drive that crawled toward Kozuki's waiting hip. The impact was brutal. The ball ricocheted off the hip, spinning toward the left back's knee. The knee deflected it skyward, a savage redirection that sent the ball screaming toward the crossbar.
The web is dying, but the ball doesn't need eyes. It just needs physics.
Kozuki's desperate dive was a breath too slow. The ball kissed the crossbar's underside. It arced off the wood, curving toward the far post in a deadly postscript to Ren's fading vision. Ren hit the ground, blind, but the symphony played on. The ball, a golden blur, hung in the air. Its final destination, a question mark carved by 1,000 deflections. One note remained, the net, or the void. The ball kissed the far post and rolled over the line, a whisper into the back of the net. Silence swallowed the stadium. 1,000 deflections had led to one impossible geometry. The referee's whistle pierced the void, his arm raised to the sky. The goal stood. Ren crumpled, a marionette with cut strings. His golden eyes faded to dull gray. His teammates' joy curdled into horror. They sprinted toward his motionless form. The scoreboard burned 1-0, but the victory felt like a funeral dirge. Medical staff swarmed the pitch. A stretcher bore Ren's limp body, a ghost of the legend.
He threw his own light away to carve a goal from darkness.
Ren, you idiot. You actually did it. Don't you dare leave us now.
The final whistle blew, but the real war for Ren's sight was just beginning. In the recovery room, Taro kept silent vigil by Ren's bandaged bedside, the trophy untouched. The doctor's verdict was brutal. His optic nerves had been burned through. His vision might never recover. Outside the window, cherry blossoms fell like quiet mourners, oblivious to the darkness within.
He knew the risk. He chose this. But he shouldn't have to pay this much.
Darkness. No golden lines. Just the weight of 1,000 failures pressing on my chest.
The doctors spoke of optic nerves scorching, of miracles that rarely came.
You once said you'd see the symphony. Now you are the only one who can't see the trophy. We won.
Ren's fingers twitched, but no golden light answered. The vision that carved impossible angles was utterly silent. The victory was theirs, but the cost was a darkness that only Ren could navigate. And he was adrift. He rested, a ghost in his own triumph, the golden webs forever extinguished. Days passed in the quiet of the hospital. The morning came to remove the bandages. The first light crept through his lashes. No golden webs, just blurred shapes and muted colors.
It's just light. Ordinary light. No angles. No paths. Just shapes.
Ren, can you see me? How many fingers?
2. I think. They're a bit fuzzy, but you are there.
The world was ordinary now. No Ricochet symphony, just the quiet hum of a hospital room.
The golden vision was a weapon I can't wield anymore. But maybe I don't need to be a weapon.
He touched the glass, tracing the blurry outlines of cherry blossoms. A new geometry, simpler and fragile.
The doctors say with therapy, it could improve. You'll see the trophy we won someday.
I already see the only thing that matters. I am not a ghost anymore.
The hospital doors opened onto a world washed clean by spring rain. Ren inhaled, no longer a ghost.
The sidewalk is just concrete now, but every step feels like a goal. I am alive.
Coach says, take all the time you need. The team's just glad you are still here.
Glad to be here. No pressure. I used to hate that phrase. Now it's a gift.
They passed the old training field, where a forgotten ball rested in the grass. No golden webs, just leather.
If you could go back, knowing it'd cost your sight, would you take that shot again?
1,000 times over. Every ricochet was a step out of the dark. I'd burn it all again.
A faint golden shimmer traced the ball's edge, as if the symphony still remembered one final note. The Ricochet symphony had ended. The world settled into ordinary light, and for Ren, that was more than enough. Weeks blurred into months. Ren's vision sharpened slightly, but the golden webs never returned. Physical therapy was a slow grind. He accepted the blur as a new kind of clarity, a world without angles.
Front page today. The impossible angle. They're still calling it a miracle.
I can barely read it, but I can still see the net rippling in my memory. That's enough.
One afternoon, Kazuki appeared at the door, silent, a bouquet of white lilies in his hands.
The wall I built. You didn't break it. You made it part of your symphony. I respect that.
I don't need golden lines anymore. A simple kick, the feel of leather on my foot, that's its own geometry.
A group of children played nearby, their laughter weaving a new symphony, one without Ricochet, but full of life. The Ricochet legend became a story, told to aspiring players. But for Ren, it was simply the path that led him home, and in the quiet of dusk, on an empty field, the last golden line faded into the soil, remembered, never extinguished. In the weeks that followed, Ren found himself returning to the empty field just to listen. The grass held echoes. He no longer saw golden webs, but the patterns were still there, etched into his muscle memory, his instincts.
The geometry is gone, but the feel of a perfect deflection, that's still in my bones.
The decision arrived quietly. He would become a coach, not to teach angles, but to teach resilience.
Coach Ren, you'll have to convince the team you are not just a legend who once made the impossible possible.
I'll tell them it was never impossible. Just 1,000 failures and a little bit of geometry.
The trophies stayed in the stadium, but in his study, Ren pinned up the newspaper article, From 1,000 Deflections to Glory. Outside his window, cherry blossoms continued to fall, a quiet testament to seasons changing, just as he had.
The Ricochet vision took my sight, but it gave me back my worth. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
And when the next season's players arrived, nervous and green, they found a coach who saw their potential, even through blurred eyes. The championship final was tied, seconds left. On the sideline, Coach Ren stood with eyes half closed, remembering.
The angles aren't in my eyes anymore, but I can still feel the air part for the perfect ricochet. Hit the defender's shin, low and hard. It'll carry him to the crossbar.
The midfielder obeyed, driving the ball low. It struck the shin, rocking upward exactly as Ren had described.
He couldn't see it, but somehow he still saw more than any of us.
The ball kissed the crossbar, then arced toward the far post, a golden ghost of the old symphony.
The net. I can hear it before the crowd. That geometry is still my language.
The ball nestled into the net. The stadium erupted, but Ren just smiled, a single tear tracing his cheek. His vision was gone, but the Ricochet Symphony had found a new conductor, and on that field, under a sky of ordinary light, the legend of the 1,000 deflections lived on. The final whistle of that championship echoed, but Ren heard only the aftershock of 1,000 deflections finally stilled.
It was your geometry. Ren, you gave them the angle. They'll be telling this story for years.
Not mine. Theirs now. The symphony belongs to whoever dares to listen for the ricochet.
The players hoisted the trophy, but Ren's gaze lingered on the empty net, as if tracing a ghostly golden line.
The trophy is just a shape. The real prize is knowing the 1,000th deflection wasn't the end. It was the overture.
A reporter approached, microphone trembling with excitement, and asked about the miracle goal.
No miracle. Just 1,000 failures and a team that finally believed in the impossible angle.
He touched the reporter's notebook, feeling the texture of words he could barely read, a braille of his own legend.
I don't need to read it. I lived every ricochet, They're etched in here.
As the stadium lights dimmed, the golden line that once traced his vision now traced the air above the field, a silent signature. Ren walked alone to the center circle, the grass still warm from the stampede of victory. The night sky his only witness.
You planning to stay all night? It's just grass now, Ren.
It's never just grass. It's a canvas I can't see but still remember painting with angles.
The golden line above flickered, as if acknowledging the memory of the 1000th Ricochet, then danced away.
I still don't fully get it. How did you know the angle would work?
I didn't. I just trusted the geometry that 1,000 failures had beaten into my bones.
Taro studied his friend, no longer a broken player but a man who had turned his curse into a crown.
The vision is gone, but the math remains. And I've passed it on. That's enough.
The last stadium lights died, and the golden line dissolved into starlight, carrying his legacy into the quiet night. And somewhere beyond the darkness, a new deflection was already being imagined, a ricochet for another generation. Years later, on a similar field, a young player held a ball and whispered a question to the wind.
The secret isn't seeing the angles. It's trusting that they exist, even when you are blind to them.
The boy nodded, though he couldn't yet grasp the weight of 1,000 deflections buried in those words.
They'll learn. Every ricochet starts with a failed pass. That's the geometry of growth.
Above them, cherry blossoms fell, tracing trajectories that echoed Ren's old symphonies. Taro watched from the sideline, no longer a player but a keeper of memories.
He turned 1,000 failures into a library of possibilities. Not a bad legacy.
The ball moved, kicked by the boy, and for a fleeting moment, a golden shimmer traced its path. The geometry of Ricochet didn't die with Ren's vision. It just waited for another soul willing to count to 1,000. And in the quiet afterward, Ren swears he still hears the echo of that first perfect deflection. The echo never truly faded. It just became part of the morning breeze that swept across the training grounds.
No one else can hear it, but that's fine. Some symphonies are meant to be private.
You still come here every day. What do you listen for?
The same thing I've been listening for since the 1000th deflection. The sound of a path opening.
Cherry blossoms spiraled down, one landing on the tongue of Ren's shoe, a gentle punctuation mark. The young players arrived, lacing up their boots, ready to be shaped by a coach who spoke in angles.
And to think you were just a ghost in cleats.
I am still a ghost, just one that finally learned how to haunt the right goals.
A ball rolled to a stop at Ren's feet. He nudged it, and a golden shimmer whispered across the grass. The symphony had never ended. It simply passed into the soil, waiting for the next player brave enough to count to 1,000.